Hi everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to make a rug. Here's some colors I chose to make a rug with, so we're going to get started. So first of all, we're going to take 5 strips and we're going to fold them over nicely like in 3. That was not very long. And it also helps to stretch out your stuff a little bit so it doesn't make your rug stretch out. That one's good enough. And 3 on this one. So here I have 5 different strands that I rolled over on the top nicely, and I'm going to sew them together. So you want to make sure each strand is attached securely after you sew. You can also hand sew it with a needle. Then we're going to start the braid. So we're going to do a weaving process. Take the one on the right, go over, under, over, under. And it's helpful to find a place to secure it so you can work more easily. Then you're going to start again from the right with the next strand. Over, under, over, under. And you want to keep it a bit snug. Okay. So we're going to continue to use it from the right side. Over, under, over, and under. Then that one becomes the end one. And we start over again. So now I came to the end of my strands and I need to add more. So I'm going to roll it just like I did at the beginning. And you can do, there's several ways to add. This is the easiest way. I'm just going to fold it over, make a tiny slit just like that. Make a tiny hole and get another strip. So then we're going to roll this over nicely like that as well and make a slit in this one. Same way. Just a tiny one. Stick that one through that hole and then take the tail of itself and stick it through that hole. Pull it tight. Now you have a secure another strand, longer strand. Okay, another way you can do it if you don't want to do it that way is sew it on with the machine. Just roll that on there real nice. And there you go, it's added on. So now that we've got all our strands lengthened, we want to continue braiding, and to make a 2-foot wide by 4-foot long rug, we want to have about a 28-inch center. So we're going to measure it after a while, make sure it's a 28-inch center. Okay, so now we're going to measure and see what length we've got, and I've got 28 inches, so I'm going to start to turn it around and braid it into itself. So this time, the strand that we're bringing around is going to come back around and go into the first loop here that we just made. Oops. And we're going to go in that same loop several times so that we have a nice turnaround. So now I'm going to go in this hole one more time. That was 3 times. Because the first turnaround is a very sharp turnaround, obviously. Now I'm going to bring the next strip, and then we're going to find the next hole here, right up from the one we just used, and put that one through. And then, again, I'm going to use that hole with the next strip. Now we're coming around to the other side. And again, now we're going to find the next strand here, next loop, I'm sorry. And we're going to keep going the whole length of the rug that way. We're going to find the next loop. This is the one we just did. We can see by pulling it away. Now we're going to get this strip, loop. And again on the next one, not again, I mean the next loop. Or what would you do? To my last loop on the side, so now this strand is going to come over to the next side, find the first loop and put it through there, and then I'm going to bring the next one into that same loop, so because we're going around a very sharp curve here to make the rug stay laying flat. We don't want it to become too tight, so you want to be careful not to make it too tight by going around the edges either, the corners either. So we're going to do this side, this corner, just like we did the first corner. After we come through, after we feel like we came around the corner well enough that our strands are nicely together going this way, then we'll just do 1 strand each again. So now we came down 1 full circle around the center braid that we made first, and we go around this curve just the same as before, except I don't go 3 times in one hole. Usually I just do 2 as we come around. Find the next loop and go through that one twice. Here we go, this is the second one. So now we're at the point we're just going to continue to braid around and around until we get it to the size and the length that we like. Okay, so now I've braided it as big as I want it. I'm ready to end it. I'm going to show you how to end your rug. So let's get these out of the way. I'm going to take the last strip that I just braided in, and I'm going to sew it right to the loop that it's in, that I put it in through. So you can do this by machine, or you can just do it by hand. So one by hand, and I'm going to snip off the tail. This is the one I just sewed fast. And now that's my end, just like that. Now I'm going to continue to braid just a little bit farther so it doesn't look like I made an uneven if I just cut them off all here and sew them fast. It would not be a nice curvature. So I'm going to braid just a little farther, not much, just a loop or two. And that one I have to bring up through because that would make it even. Okay, so now I've braided just a couple more loops, and I'm going to go ahead and sew this one in and snip it off. Here's where I sewed it fast, right there, and I just snipped off. Okay, now I have 3 strands left, and I'm going to continue just braiding a little bit farther to get a nice rounded ending. So now I braided a thin 3 braids with the 3 strands up to this point, and I'm going to flip these back and do the same as I did before, sewing this fast to this last loop. Okay, so now I've snipped off that 3rd string and I only have 2 left, so I just do a kind of a braid, so over, and then since we're ready to go under, just go under, and then go over and under into the next loop, and only for a few loops, and I'll sew that fast. There we go. Now I'm ready to sew that last one fast. So now for this last strand, I don't really have anything to braid with, so I'm just going to end it right here. I'm going to sew it just like I did the others and snip it off. And this is our finished product. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.